So a few years ago, a friend of mine from India asked me to make him some veggie pops. I had no idea what he was talking about, so I had to do a little bit of research, and after doing that research, I made quite a few lots of veggie pops that came out really well. And so I'm going to show you today how to make veggie pops, especially if you have some vegetables sitting around that you don't quite know what to do with and it's getting close to the end of their use date. So what I've got here is I've got an onion that has been chopped, quite a smallish onion, not a large one. If you've only got big onions, use half. I've got 2 garlic cloves. I've got chopped up green chilli, chopped up carrots, about 6 sugar snap peas chopped up, half a capsicum, and this some broccoli that I'm going to chop up as well. And then I've got a bag of baby spinach that I need to be using. So really, I would say that if I put that spinach and the broccoli together, I'm wanting to have about 1.5 cups of other vegetables, and you can use whatever you have in your kit. Doesn't have to be broccoli, doesn't have to be spinach. You can use whatever you have. You can even put in a can of corn if that's what you've got. And then you're going to need this semolina flour, half a cup of that, and you're going to need a whole cup of flour and mix about ½ teaspoon of salt with it and half a cup of breadcrumbs. And you're going to need 2 tablespoons of oil, and that'll be to saute the vegetables. And then afterwards you're going to need oil for deep frying. And you're going to need as well about ½ teaspoon of curry powder, ½ teaspoon of oregano, ½ teaspoon of ginger, ½ teaspoon of pepper, and ½ teaspoon of, if you've got cilantro or coriander leaf, that'll help as well. And what am I forgetting? Salt. You're going to need at least ½ teaspoon of salt as well. You're also going to need a cup of boiling water. So all these vegetables are prepared into a pot, and we're now going to saute it. We're going to cook it for about 3 minutes. But I'm now going to add in my cilantro, salt, pepper, oregano, ginger, but I'm not going to add in the curry powder, so hold off with adding in the curry powder. When it has cooked down a bit, you are going to add in your ½ cup of semolina flour, and you're going to stir that in. And to that, you are going to add your 1 cup of boiling water. You're going to stir it in, and then you're going to turn the heat down. Once that's stirred right in, turn the heat down so that it's just going to be a simmer. And you're going to cover the pot, and you're going to let it simmer for 4 minutes. So add in your ½ teaspoon of curry powder, mix that in, and then you are going to let that cook again with the lid on for about another 2 minutes. You're going to have like quite thick Ooh, misting up from the steam. Mixture over here. You want to let this cool a little bit, otherwise you're going to burn your fingers, because your next step is going to be to roll this into little balls about the size of a strawberry, and you are then going to roll those balls into the flour. But there's a special trick that's going to happen, which I will show you, and this is how you get the best, crispiest outside ever. Your pot off the stove, and you're going to let it cool down a little bit, but to that, from your flour mixture that you've got here, add in 2 teaspoons, and then you're going to mix that in. So now you have your veggie pops rolled into balls and then dipped in that flour. Don't be thinking, oh my goodness, I've got all this flour breadcrumb mixture left, what am I going to do with it? Because this is where the secret trick comes in. You're going to bring a pot of water to the boil, and this is what you're going to be doing. If you've got a sieve that fits in, you can use that. Otherwise, I've just got a spoon with like a slit thing in it. So you are going to dip the veggie pops into this boiling water and keep them in the boiling water for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. That's it. And you're going to take it out, and then you're going to roll them in the flour breadcrumb mixture again, and then you're going to put them in the water again. 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Bring them out. You're going to do that 3 times, and then only will you be deep frying them. But this is how you get the crispy outer layer of these veggie pops. Right, water is boiling, so time to start. So I'm going to just dip them in. 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. And then put them on another little plate, and then eventually I'm going to re-dip these in the flour. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Right, so you've got all your veggie pop balls over there. Now it's time to re-dip them in the flour again and repeat this whole procedure. Okay, they've now been rolled in flour for the second time, and they are ready to get dipped into the boiling water again. This is round 2. So it will go in again. 1, 2, 3. And then after this, we'll do it for a 3rd time, and then you are going to be deep frying them. So they have finished their second dipping in the water. Now for the very last rolling in the flour. Right, time for the last dip in the boiling water, and then it'll be time for deep frying. All done after the 3 dippings. I'm now heating up some oil, and I will deep fry some of them. I'm not going to do all of them. So I am going to put some in a container in the fridge for another day. Okay, he's ready for another day. The link for the detailed recipe is in the description below, and if you can like and comment and subscribe to my channel, that will be amazing. You'll be helping a very old lady grow her little YouTube channel. So take care, and I'll see you on my next adventure.